Hey guys, my name is Matimeo, and today I want to talk about IQ and why I may have been wrong about her. A while back, I ranked all of the offensive operators, and I placed her at the very bottom because honestly, I thought that she was the worst offensive operator in the game. Her gadget is useless, it's still useless by the way, but I just didn't think that she brought much to the table. And while I still think that there are better operators when you're playing on offense, like if you do not have a Thermite or a Thatcher combo, and you're picking IQ before that, you need to do your team a service and switching over to Thermite because he's going to provide way more tactical value for your team. Like he's just as better in general. But if you're looking for something a little bit different, I'm kind of finding that I'm leaning towards IQ just because she's a hell of a lot of fun to use and she can be amazing in the right circumstances. And so one of the reasons why I've been loving her so much lately is because she's incredibly fast. The only other offensive operator that is just as quick as her is Ashe, and the reason why this is important is because of the Peeker's advantage. You would not think that the Peeker's advantage would be as advantageous as it is in Rainbow Six Siege, but because of the damage model, every bullet will one-shot someone if you hit them in the face. As long as you know where the enemy is located and you round the corner, the Peeker's advantage will win you firefights consistently. If you're not aware of what the Peeker's advantage is, it basically means that when you round a corner, the enemy is going to be notified a little bit slower because of the time it takes for your computer to send the information that you're now in front of the enemy. Like there is a slight delay there, but that ever so slight delay gives you the opportunity to take them out. And so on your screen, you enter the room, you got about a split second, maybe half a second to kind of scan the room and land that headshot. But on their end, all they saw was your head and then you instantly took them out. And there was no time for them to react. There was no way humanly possible for them to get that kill on you. That is essentially the Peeker's advantage. It's true in Counter-Strike, it's not as obvious. It's true in Battlefield. Basically any first-person shooter has this Peeker's advantage, but it's very obvious and potent in Rainbow Six Siege because of that insanely high damage model. And so the reason why this is important is that when you're playing a faster operator like IQ, with that higher movement, you can move around corners faster, aiding that Peeker's advantage. And while it's not a massive difference, like you're not all of a sudden just going to destroy everyone that you come across. Like I'm not trying to say that. Like it's not going to win you firefights every time, but it is that ever so slight difference compared to the other operators that can mean the difference between life and death in some circumstances. And so that's one small reason why I've been gravitating to IQ when I am playing on the offensive team. Really, the main reason though is because of her weapons. The AUG, when I first started using it, I wasn't all that impressed by it, but now that I've put a good couple of hours with this bad boy and using the ACOG scope on it, it is an absolutely amazing weapon. It does have a fair amount of kick, and so you are going to have to reel that thing in, but once you start to understand how its recoil works and you start to land headshots, I've gone on some just absolutely disgusting kill streaks with this gun. She also has the light machine gun. Admittedly, I don't use this as much, but especially if you're kind of new to the game and you just want a lot of rounds to put down range, not only is it really good at suppressing doorways to make sure the enemy's not going to be able to peek their corner, allowing you and your buddies to hopefully kind of get to where you are, especially if they're roaming around. It gives your team some breathing room, but also just allows you to get some cheeky headshots on people that aren't expecting that many bullets to be continuously flowing down range. They're going to assume that at one point you're going to have to reload. You never really have to reload, and you can get some really fun kills as well. And while I wouldn't go as far to say that she has the best gun in the game, I still feel like that goes to Twitch's FAMAS. They're up there. Like if you get good with the AUG, you'll start to realize that this thing is actually really powerful. Even if you're not going for headshots and you just get body shots, you're able to take out your enemy very, very quickly with that high damage. And just in general, her weapons are fantastic. The final reason why I'm having a lot of fun with her is because of the flashbangs. I kind of wish the flashbangs were a little bit better, and I'll get to that here in a second, but they did upgrade them in a couple of patches ago, and if you use them appropriately, you can pull off some kills that you never would have been able to do with any other operator or with any other gadgets. My favorite is when you enter a room with a drone, you realize someone's camping in the corner in the left-hand side, and instead of just trying to go Rambo on in with no aid or no gadget to assist you, throwing a quick flashbang in that area, like off of the bank of the windowsill, so it bounces at their feet, and then jumping through the window. There's something so gratifying about getting a kill that way. The flashbang may not have actually flashed them because they realized a grenade was falling at their feet and they ran away, but it gives you just that very small window, and it's a very small window. This is the reason why I think it's so much fun, because you really have to take advantage of it and things kind of have to align for you. But that brief window gives you plenty of opportunity to jump on in, kind of figure out where they ran to, and then take them out while they're disorganized. When you're able to do that, it is incredibly satisfying. The reason why I said it could use a bit of an upgrade, though, is that it's not as reliable as I'd like it to be. There's been situations where I've thrown it into a room almost convinced that even if the enemy wasn't looking at the grenade, because if you're not aware, when the flashbang goes off and it's near an enemy's feet, doesn't matter what direction they're looking, they're still gonna get the flash effect on them. There's been times where I've thrown, here's a prime example, it goes off, I rush on in, assuming that I'm gonna have the advantage here, and even though they were pretty much right on the grenade, it doesn't cause them to be blinded. And while I do realize that he did outplay me a bit here, he did look away as soon as it went off, and that allowed him to get the kill, but because of the other mechanic, I thought that I was in the right to enter the room and take these two guys out. And so I guess what I'm trying to get at is I wish there was more control for the player that's using this grenade. Right now, the grenade takes a long time to detonate, and that gives the player either plenty of opportunity to run away so that it doesn't land at their feet, or to look away. And so what I'm hoping for is either expand upon the radius so that even if they're not looking at the grenade, they still get flashed, or just give the player more control so that they can do stuff like they can in Counter-Strike. If you haven't played Counter-Strike, if you throw a flashbang off of a wall, basically that kind of detonates the grenade, and half a second later it's gonna go off. And so it gives players a lot of control to get some cheeky flashbangs off on an enemy. I'd like this grenade type to be more useful and more advantageous in more situations. Maybe I'm just being selfish, maybe I'm being greedy, and a lot of you guys are gonna tell me, you know, get good scrub, you have no idea what you're talking about, because even though I love this grenade type right now, I'm having a lot of fun with it, it results in some very enjoyable kills, I still feel like it could use a bit of an upgrade. But overall, those are the three main reasons why I may have been wrong about IQ. I still won't go as far to say that she's the best offensive operator, not by a long shot. Like, I still think that there are better operators in the game when you are playing on the attacking team, but in the right hands and in the right situation, she can be a hell of a lot of fun. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Give me your thoughts on IQ. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with my old assessment that you think that she's completely useless? Let me know down below. But yeah, guys, until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.